Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Money Market. This is Yusuf, the host. We are actually, trying to go through what are the biggest topic that are actually moving the market at particular time today on Wednesday. So yesterday we saw the biggest news was actually, the banks, and the banks were the ones that are driving market. We saw JP Morgan actually trying to buy, a Republic Bank, one of the biggest bank in the United States, and that actually brings a little bit of stability in terms of the deposit accounts of the Republic Bank. So the big topic today as well, it's a bank crisis. The U.S. regional lenders PacWest, Bancon, and the Western Alliance, did a sell-off in a sector of Tuesday. So Tuesday, the sector actually, have a little bit of a sell-off in terms of the banks index itself in a global market. So we saw again all these the bank crisis, hit also a Wall Street after the second largest U.S. bank failure ever. So the trading in both firms triggered in a multiple volatility heads a Park West fell to 28%. So Park West is one of the company in the United States. We saw at the end of the day yesterday on Tuesday, the stock itself dropped to 28% drop. So it was only not only that, we saw also Western Alliance tumbled to 15%. The pair has shared more than 5 billion in the market value so far this year. So the comes after a day when JP Morgan chief executive Jamie Dimon said the currently banking crisis is nearing its end after his company purchases the First Republic Bank. So that's one of the news that actually come up this morning. It was about the bank crisis, the continuation of talk in terms of the bank crisis is actually continuing. And today it's interest rate day, so that's another biggest news that actually coming in the United States. We saw, actually they estimated to get 25 basis points, so a little bit of news in terms of the Feds. The Federal Reserve is expecting to deliver a 25 basis points interest rate increasing and signal pause in its aggressive hiking campaign because the Federal has been hiking the interest rate for over maybe 6 months, since last year around November and September, somewhere around there. All right. The Fed watchers expect the U.S. Central Bank will deliver its final rate hike for a while on Wednesday, which is today, with a tighter lending condition and the signal of slowing economy, suggesting inflation will cool more magnificently in the month ahead. So the move would bring the federal Fed's rate to range of 5% to the 5.25%, the highest since 2007. So actually, the increase here is a 5% increase to 5.25%. That actually gives us 25 basis points that are actually being increased. So the increase like that actually happened long ago in 2007. So to those who actually trade in a stock market, to those who deal with the indices, this is the time that you should put on your eye on the market because of the interest rate going to come today on Wednesday, and that's actually what is going to drive the market all the way to the end of this week, which is we're expecting the NFP to come after this week. There was also a couple of news that shakes a little bit of market. It's one of the big company in the US, Ekahin Shorts. So Ekahin Shorts, the family activist investors who made a career out of the starting corporate borrows found himself on the receiving of criticism. So Tuesday, after Herenberg Research disclosed a short call against his investment firms. So the share of Airline Enterprise closes down to 20%. That's one of the big company we saw dropping to 20% as well. So these are one of the big news currently. So the biggest news again is the bank crisis, the interest rates, and we saw in the market that S&P 500 actually right now is sitting at 4,119.58, dropping at 1.16%. Nasdaq also, we saw it yesterday at the end of the yesterday's US market, dropping to 12,080.51, which is 1.80% drop on a Nasdaq. We saw S&P 500 dropping to 20,000 to 400, 20,407. S&P BMV, we saw it dropping to 55, which is, no, it grows to 55.179. It was a growth of 0.11%. So bronze, it's actually doing good. Copper, it's actually doing good as well. There was again another talk of Morgan Stanley in talks to resolve of US block trading problems. The Turkey inflation also, we saw it growing all the way to 50%, which is 50%, 50 basis points. That's what we saw happen yesterday, by the end of the yesterday trading market. Again, Russia gold is in the hands of obsequious firm of JP Morgan and HSB Bank exit. So these are already the talks, the topic of HSBC Bank. It's the biggest topic that happened last month to last month, when Silicon Bank was actually crashing in the global market. So these are one of the things that we should look on the market. The biggest one, it's actually 25 basis points. So we're going to see the results if they're going to come. Are we going to actually hit 25 basis as we expected, or it'll be more than 25 basis, maybe goes all the way to 50 basis points, all the way to 75 basis points. But that would be crazy if it goes all the way to 75 basis points, to be honest, because of they are actually trying to stabilize, the global economy, the US economy, so that it can be better. But in another hand, we saw safe haven, which is gold, uh, growing again. Yesterday, it was sitting at $1,987 per gold, and it actually grows by the end of the market of yesterday. A New York session market closed around 9 o'clock midnight, 9 o'clock night at here in SA. It was sitting at $2,017 in a gold, in a brick of a gold. So that's what we saw yesterday in terms of end of the market of gold growing, which is the safe haven. A lot of people, if you cannot be able to trade uh, other pairs, like indices or stocks, or maybe currency pairs, you can actually jump into gold and trade gold, because gold, it actually gives you the clear direction where exactly the market is going, especially when the dollar is not actually performing very well in the market. So yeah, those are the top news currently that we actually seeing in the global markets. You can actually verify it on your own. You go to Bloomberg.com, you can see all the news. You also go on a CNBC to just refer to see all the news that actually moves the market, and how much the price of the stock market, each and every US stock market, it's actually performing at particular time. Thank you very much. Keep subscribing. Let's keep watching.